it through the experience of experienced sporting directors, but who don't know that and who aren't that savvy with today's technology and data intelligence, or how can um, today's young professionals educate themselves to make the best decisions for sporting success, leading a franchise?
Yeah, a good question. Again, I do think it's an exciting time in terms of the evolution of data analytics and the success that certain teams have had relative to it. And you can see examples of it in almost every league in the world in terms of teams that have started to show a success or track record in that regard. I might say, in my opinion, it might be a little too early to declare victory or to say like that all of a sudden every single one of those teams are going to now have deep benches of PhDs that are experts in data mining and artificial intelligence and all that other stuff. I mean, if that ends up becoming the case, then again, eventually it all reverts back to some form of a mean again. Like then if they're all doing it, at some point, then again, not every single one of them is going to win a championship every single year. So it's look, I no doubt there's a host of different examples of success in that broader space. But I also do believe that there's some element of just luck, if you will. And there've been a lot of articles increasingly about the fact that sometimes you just it's a host of different things that come together, but sometimes literally the difference between one team and another is they one way or the other, they just seem to get that lucky bounce a little bit more often than the others do. And and again, that could be because they work harder or they coach better or whatever it might be. But I try not to think too much about the fact that, like, if you will, the people that I've been associated with are more intelligent or better than anyone else. It's sometimes there's luck might play a role in it as well.
And what was one of the most important difference from building in 2015 and Arizona United, transforming them to Phoenix Rising FC, building a successful sporting and commercial culture there, to building today in 2023 Rhode Island FC project? What was one major thing that changed in building?
Well, I mean, I think ultimately it doesn't come down to money. Like putting a winning product, it takes almost as much money to have a bad team as it does to have a good team. And you see it in from the experience I've gained in England. There are some incredible ownership groups that invest an incredible amount of money and have great results to show for it. And there's a whole bunch of them that have really poor results to show for it. And so, Tom Brady in Birmingham, they got relegated last year. It wasn't because of a lack of money. Now they're getting promoted back up this year. So, what I'm not quite sure. I haven't dived deeply into it, but again, sports is just an interesting business. And from my perspective, there's nothing better than being involved with sports. I mean, I love it. I love, this weekend, my Rhode Island team is playing, Ipswich is playing. I just can't wait for the games. I'm like, I find it very, during the brief windows in the calendar where I don't have some team playing, that becomes, I miss it.